The following are messages and warning signs about
teen dating abuse, drugs, and alcohol awareness.
If you are a victim or know one,
please do not hesitate to talk to someone before it's too late.
Together we can save each other, one life at a time.
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 Each year, approximately 1 in 4 adolescents reports verbal, physical, emotional, or sexual abuse.
Approximately 1 in 5 adolescents report being victims of emotional abuse.
Approximately 1 in 5 high school girls has been physically or sexually abused by a dating partner.
Dating violence among their peers is reported by 54% of high school students.
Believe verbal abuse is a serious issue for their age group.
Nearly 80% of girls who have been victims of dating abuse in their dating relationships continue to date the abuser.
Nearly 20% of teen girls who have been in a relationship said that their boyfriend has threatened violence or self-harm in the event of a breakup.
Nearly 70% of women who have been raped knew their rapist. The perpetrator was or had been a boyfriend, a friend, or a casual acquaintance.
Nationwide, nearly 1 in 10 high school students has been hit, slapped, or physically hurt on purpose by a boyfriend or girlfriend.
1 in 3 teens reports knowing a friend or peer who has been hit, punched, kicked, slapped, or physically hurt by a partner.
Teen victims of dating violence are more likely to abuse drugs, have eating disorders, and attempt suicide.
A recent survey of schools found that there are an estimated 4,000 incidents of rape or other types of sexual assault in public schools across the country.
1/3 of high school students have been or will be involved in abusive relationships.
Dating violence is the leading cause of injury to young women.
About 40% of teenage girls ages 14 to 17 say they know someone their age that has been hit or beaten by a boyfriend.
Jealousy and possessiveness are early warning signs of abuse.
You are in a dating violence relationship if your partner puts you down and makes you feel like you can't do anything right.
You are in a dating violence relationship if your partner refuses to allow you to have contact with your friends and family.
You may be in a dating violence relationship if your partner gets extremely jealous and constantly accuses you of flirting and cheating.
You are in a dating violence relationship if your partner hits, slaps, kicks, punches, or threatens you with physical harm.
Relationships can be abusive, even if there's no hitting. Abuse can be verbal and emotional too.
If you are in an abusive relationship, talk to the guidance counselor who has resources of people that can help, or someone that you can trust.
You deserve to be treated in a loving, respectful way by your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Consequences of underage drinking are serious. Alcohol-related highway deaths are a major killer of teens and young adults today. Alcohol use is associated with youth homicides, suicides, and drownings. The solution is simple. If you're underage, don't be under the influence. Know the facts. Very sobering.
500,000 high school students report weekly drinking binges. Alcohol-related crashes are the leading cause of injury and death among teenagers. The numbers don't just add up, and that's everybody's problem.
Fact: about 5,000 people under 21 die each year from injuries caused by underage drinking, nearly 40% from car crashes alone. Fact: about 440,000 Americans die from diseases associated with tobacco use each year.
More than 40% of people who begin drinking before age 15 eventually become alcoholics.
Smokeless tobacco does not cause cancer.
False. It increases the risk of cancers, especially oral cancer.
Tobacco can cause addiction,
Skin damage,
Cataracts,
Wrinkles.
mouth and throat cancers,
heart and lung disease.
Fact: in 2008, prescription pain medications like Vicodin and Oxycontin were involved in more overdose deaths than heroin and cocaine combined.
Fact: abuse of prescription stimulants like Adderall can cause serious health problems including panic attacks, seizures, and heart attacks.
Fact: a person who is addicted to drugs can be helped with treatment. It is never too late.
Welcome to Education Today. I'm Nathan Watt.
And I'm Daniel Keene.
From Katanning Senior High School in the Armstrong School District. Armstrong County Community Awareness Day is coming up on Monday, October 22nd, 2012. The goal of Community Awareness Day is to ignite a spark in the community, a spark of common purpose to help battle addiction and abuse. To talk about Community Awareness Day, we have a few outstanding guests with us. Welcome to Education Today. Would you please introduce yourselves and your roles with Community Awareness Day?
Yes, my name's Scott Andresi. I'm the Armstrong County District Attorney, and I'm one of the co-founders of Community Awareness Days.
Hi, I'm Jo Ellen Bowman. I'm the Executive Director of Haven. I'm actually the coordinator for Community Awareness Day.
I'm Marie Dillon Griffith, and I'm the president of the Armstrong Indiana Clarion Drug and Alcohol Commission.
Very nice. Now, what is the goal of Community Awareness Day, and how did it start?
Well, the goal is primarily to do what we're doing right now, is get the word out that it takes a community to combat all the social issues that we talk about, which is domestic violence, sexual assault, child abuse, the abuse of drugs and alcohol and other drugs, and elder abuse. And we just know that it takes a team to do that, and it takes a community to do that. It was actually founded by District Attorney Andresi, Judge Gardicomo, Magistrate Gardicomo, and Sheriff Larry Crawford. I think it's probably more appropriate for Scott to talk about that, but you know, we have every year built it up and made it bigger and better and made sure we reach almost every household in the county with information on these particular issues. We don't want to keep them hidden. We know they happen in Armstrong County, and we want to make sure people know where the resources are to support them through any of the challenges they may face regarding these issues.
Now, each of you has a unique perspective of why Community Awareness Day is important. Can you tell us some real-world consequences of drug, alcohol, and domestic abuse?
Well, from a law enforcement prosecution standpoint, the effects of drugs, alcohol, abuse issues are indescribable. We see them at every level, whether they're kids, whether they're parents, in every aspect of our community. And one of the goals of Community Awareness Days is to reach out to the community, to talk about these issues, to let the community know that there are resources available to address these issues before they happen. And from our perspective, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. We'd rather reach these kids, we'd rather reach these families now than deal with them in the criminal justice system later.
Mm-hmm. Now, what activities and initiatives are going to happen on Monday, October 22nd on Community Awareness Day?
Well, we have a lot of things planned. One of the things that went out this week is a letter to the faith community. We're asking everybody in their services a weekend prior to October 22nd, to speak about Community Awareness Day and some of the issues. On that evening, on Monday, October 22nd, there's a great program. We have a flyer here. I know Mr. Garatano has that flyer. And we are going to have a wonderful event that's hosted at Lenape Technical School. It is from 4:30 to 7 p.m. and it's called a fall family celebration. We have a ton of community partners that bring that. All the social service agencies will be there, including Haven and Children and Youth and Drug and Alcohol Commission, Ark Manor. I can't name them all, but we're all there to give information out, and there's going to be a couple programs there that night specific to drug and alcohol awareness. And we created a flyer. This is a copy of last year's flyer, so we'll have a flyer that talks about all the issues that will be distributed, and then we'll go out to all the communities too. Last year our focus was on child abuse prevention. That was the primary focus of Community Awareness Day, and this year we're back to a team effort about all the issues that I talked about. I don't know if anybody else has anything else that you want to add.
I would strongly encourage everyone to come to the Fall Family Celebration. It has grown each and every year since it started. The really neat thing about it is that the entire community comes together, to put it on, to provide these resources, and everything is free. There's absolutely no charge for the activities, for the information you receive, and there's usually some pretty good food and fun. So please come.
Well, you know, we also have pledges that we ask all the certain grades in elementary school to sign that talk about anti-violence pledges that will all be going out to every district. And Judge Tacoma will be out in the school districts that week also presenting a video that he's developed about drug and alcohol awareness. So that's all going to happen on that same week.
From the commission standpoint, we're wanting the community and the parents to know that the average age of drug use among our youth is actually lowering. The average age is 10, and that's based on our PA youth survey that occurred in 2009. We're wanting to really educate the community and the parents with regards to alcohol, tobacco, marijuana being the top 3 drugs of choice in our area, and what those statistics are and how it's impacting. And this is a great opportunity to reach out. I mean, we have the opportunity to present a lot of different things within the schools, but this gets us that opportunity to talk to the parents, the rest of the community, in a setting that is more comfortable for them as well, and fun, and lots of food. So.
Now, the timing of this is wonderful because Community Awareness Day falls during National Red Ribbon Week, which is October 20th to 27th. For those of you that don't know, the Red Ribbon Campaign is a national effort to work towards a drug-free society. What led to the moving of Community Awareness Day from its usual occurrence in January to Red Ribbon Week?
We were able to meld the resources of Red Ribbon Week with Community Awareness Days, and quite frankly, it was a natural marriage. The activities that are going on during Red Ribbon Week dovetail perfectly into Community Awareness Days. When we started Community Awareness Days 11 years ago, it was a series of small programs at the various schools throughout Armstrong School District. It has grown over the years to a point where we now reach over 40,000 people on one specific day of the year to talk about these issues. Red Ribbon Week gives us the resources and the ability to take those other 4 days and bring them into the program. So we're able to reach a much larger audience, and it was a natural marriage.
Now, what are some of the activities happening in the at the elementary school level in Armstrong School District and other school districts around?
Some of the programs that you'll see coming in is Too Good for Drugs. We also have an alcohol and driving program that'll be implemented this year. The Commission has really taken a lot of different things and tailored it to different school districts' needs as well. Schools are welcome at any time to contact us for different programming opportunities. And the traditional ones that we've done, there was school assemblies and everything like that as well.
Yeah. Tell us about the activities happening at the secondary school level, both in the Armstrong School District and in other school districts.
Very similar. I mean, you're going to have the alcohol and driving programs as well.
Well, and thanks to Armstrong School District, you are creating a video with local students that are going to be speaking to the key issues that we want to bring forward during Community Awareness Day. I know you've done a great job, so you know every high school student will have an opportunity to watch a video clip. Maybe some of the people here today are going to be in those videos. We have developed messages, some from Drug and Alcohol, some from Haven, that they're going to be saying, because I think it's really important that you hear from peers. You don't want to talk, you don't want to hear from a bunch of talking heads or people that are running the agencies. You want to hear from each other about how these issues are impacting you, because it's real. It's real for each and every one of you. So if you hear from each other, we think it's going to be a more effective message. So that's part of what's going to be happening in the secondary schools.
Sounds like a lot of great stuff. Now, how does Community Awareness Day come together each year? Who helps put it all together? Who's the glue?
It's a consortium of social service agencies, Judge Tacoma, myself, the Sheriff's Office, but I want to give primary kudos to Haven and Joellen Bowman, who really do the hard work, the heavy lifting of Community Awareness Days. The group comes together very early in the year. We establish an outline for the theme for Community Awareness Days for the upcoming year, and then the pieces start coming together. One of the things that has never ceased to amaze me about Community Awareness Days is that each and every year we have been able to pay for this program using zero public dollars. We've approached foundations for grants. The Armstrong County Hospital has been incredibly generous. A number of corporate sponsors have come forward. So we, each and every year, have been able to reach our goal to fund this program without approaching any public money. But at the end of the day, it takes people on the ground. It takes people doing the hard work of putting flyers together, of getting those flyers distributed. And that's where I give all the credit to Haven. Joellen and her staff do an incredible job every year.
Wow, it really does seem like everyone's pulling together for a really good thing. But how unique is the concept of a Community Awareness Day? Are other counties doing this?
I will be honest with you. I am not aware of any other program in the state of Pennsylvania that approaches Community Awareness Days, and have not been since we started this program. I think we are very unique in what we do in this county, not just in presenting the program, but in bringing together all of the resources under one roof for one evening and having the kind of turnout we get each year that, as I'd mentioned earlier, is growing each and every year. And that's exactly what we're looking for.
Well, unfortunately, it's about time to take a short break. We'll be back in a minute to talk more about Community Awareness Day. Stay tuned.
Before I came to IUP, I had no idea what college would be like or what role I would play or where I'd be in the future. But when I came to IUP, everything changed. I met people who really made me feel like I belonged. I had great classes at a great nationally ranked university. Hi, my name's Megan Miller. I'm a fine arts major, and this is my university.
And we're back with Education Today. Tonight's topic is Community Awareness Day, and we are joined by Joellen Bowman, Scott Andressi, and Maria Dillon Griffith. Joellen, what do you see as the main benefit of having professional athletes speak about these topics as portrayed in Judge DeComo's video that he presents every year?
Well, I think that a lot of youth follow sports, and they look at them as an example of behaviors that they should engage in. And I think Judge DeComo does a really great job. It's not easy to go access all the sports heroes and get their participation, but he really has pushed this because he cares about this issue. So I think that that's behind the scenes what I think people should appreciate. But the other thing is you listen to sports heroes, and I think that what our goal is to reach youth, and we're hoping that that's a good role model, and they continue in their professional capacity to be good role models and speak well to the students.
I couldn't agree more. Now, has the Armstrong Indiana Clarion Commission always been involved in Community Awareness Day?
They have from the initial start, and they keep very active in that.
Now, are there different things that you do in the relations to this day?
Some of the things that we'll do, I mean, we'll certainly have a table at that event and be able to provide different resources for the community, for the parents, educating them about drug and alcohol abuse, as well as the resources that are available to individuals for treatment, etc. So we're going to have a lot of those. There'll be some displays that they'll be able to, for identification of different substances and everything. So.
Now, what kind of programs does the Armstrong Indiana Clarion Commission run each year? Are there different programs that are done for different communities and schools?
There are. In serving the 3 different counties, we do look at what the need is for that community. What are the different opportunities within the schools? Each school district may have a different need, and so we can adapt the program to that. We do the Too Good for Drugs. The Alcohol and Driving is a new program that we'll be implementing in several of the schools and everything. But everything from assemblies, we get lots of calls, especially during proms and different things like that, to provide those types of activities, to health classes where our case managers will go in and help teach one of the classes as well.
Now let's see, this is the 8th Annual Community Awareness Day, right?
Correct.
And what was it like in the beginning? Can you tell us the story of how large the task was to start a Community Awareness Day that first year?
The original group simply got together and we talked about what we could do to reach out to the community, to pick a day each year and designate that day for the purpose of community outreach and education. And I think at the first meeting there were 4 people, Judge DeComo, myself, Sheriff Crawford, and Joellen. And we talked about what we might do, and we threw around some ideas, and we chose a day And we literally went into the schools. We were able to get a couple of speakers to go with us, and it was a matter of reaching out to as many people as we could on that day. And since that day, where we reached a handful of people, it's now grown into a program that reaches over 45,000 people every year. The task is daunting, but we are incredibly fortunate and blessed to have so many people who are willing to give us their time and effort. It makes the task a lot easier.
Now let's focus on what an ordinary citizen can do to combat drugs, alcohol, and violence. What advice do each of you have on that subject?
I think from my standpoint, it really is about educating both the parents, the students, the community as a whole. One of the effects of it, everything from jobs, to just how it impacts the families and how far it can be reaching. The more that we're educating everyone on the effects and what to look for, the better able that we are to deal with those issues as a community.
My particular expertise is domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse. And I think that from my perspective, I think that, and I want to do this little disclaimer, I absolutely respect Penn State as a university, and I think the educational programs that they have are great. But that particular crisis that happened this year with Jerry Sandusky, who just got sentenced yesterday, should bring into everybody's awareness about the oppression and the hidden secret of child sexual violence in particular. We've been working on this a long time. This isn't new to us, and we're not jumping on the Jerry Sandusky bandwagon. You know, as I said last year, child abuse was our primary focus for Community Awareness Day. But I think for the three things that I work with specifically, we're all tied together. A lot of the people that we serve, the drug and alcohol community supports for a variety of reasons. Drugs and alcohol have an impact on domestic and sexual violence, don't cause it, but impact it. All the crimes Scott faces and deals with on a daily basis, a lot have to do with family violence. And I think the big thing is we just have to not keep it secret anymore. We have to recognize it. We have to understand the dynamics. We need to know where to get help. We have a lot of curriculum that we have available to schools, every level, from anti-bullying in the elementary school to safe dates for secondary schools to some pretty more intense programs for adults, in particular with sexual violence. We need to understand the dynamics and not pretend it doesn't happen in Armstrong County, because it does. And the more we try to keep it a secret, the less we're going to be able to do to impact it and change it. So our goal is to have a community that really has no tolerance for the three things in particular that we deal with, which is domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse. And it takes a community, and we have the community. I think that's the thing that's wonderful about Community Awareness Day. We all work together and try to do what we can to stop all this. So, and Scott can talk about it better than I can from a criminal justice perspective.
My advice is fairly simple. It's get involved. Get involved with your kids, get involved with your community, get involved with your school, because if we all are involved in what's going on, then we all are aware of what's going on. As Joellen pointed out, these problems are in our communities. Take an active role in your child's life. Take an active role in your family's life. Take an active role in your school. Start or participate in a neighborhood crime watch program. These are the kind of things that not only bring people together, but say to the bad guys out there who want to hurt our kids, who want to hurt our communities, you can't do that here because we care about what's going on here. It's the communities that don't become involved, that don't participate in each other's lives, that are most at risk.
That's so true. Now, how can ordinary folks help the Community Awareness Day effort?
Well, the first would be by attending.
Right.
I mean, obviously. Educating yourself on what it is and making sure, getting involved not only this year, but in the years to come. Making sure that these types of events continue to occur. Educating them on their families and the community as a whole, for those that may have not attended. What it's about, why we're doing it, and how they can participate in it.
Right.
And Let It Be Tech this year also has graciously offered to, on their website, they'll have the pamphlet, the flyer that's been developed this year. And on that flyer, if you look at the back of it, every year what we do is we have a whole list of the agencies and contact information, everything from SCOT's Drug Task Force to where to report child abuse, suspected child abuse. It's all there. So get on Lenape Tech's website, look at the Community Awareness Day pamphlet, and educate yourself. You know, I think that's probably the most critical piece that we could do.
Now, can you tell us what are some resources our viewers can consult to learn more?
About Community Awareness Day?
About Community Awareness Day, yes.
Go ahead.
Well, you know what, as I said, I mean, thanks for the question. I think that it is important to know where to go. And again, if you come on Monday the 22nd, and there's a lot of activities for young children there, but we're all there. You know, if you don't have young children in your family, you may have grandchildren, or you may have neighbors or somebody else that you care about. So there's information for the whole community there that night, and every social service agency in the county will be there with informational pamphlets, because we can't teach you all that, you know, is critical in one day or 1 hour, because this is an ongoing effort. This is raising the awareness. But it takes a community to work at this, you know, 365 days a year. But again, if you go to Lenape Tech's website, you'll see the pamphlet that we're developing. It'll be up there probably within a few days. That will guide you a little bit on how to handle and how to interview with that. But call all the respective agencies. You know, as we've said here today, we all have prevention ed programs. Haven has programs. We have programs on drug and alcohol use. Scott is willing to talk to anybody about combating crime in the Crime Watch. I mean, his office is critical in that. So if you really want to become involved as a community member, call the respective agency that you think, okay, you know, where do I go from here? And if it's not them, we all know each other's services. We'll help refer you to the right one and guide you to the right person that would best impact what your needs are. Whether you're a youth group at a church, whether you're an elementary school or a senior citizen group, we have a program that we can tailor, and every one of our fields to tailor for that particular audience.
And I think the key to the resources is that it's not just that one day. These resources are available all year long.
Exactly.
Our websites, you can contact any of our agencies, and we're able to send a speaker out. Sometimes we're waiting for someone to ask for it, and we're ready to be able to put that together, and it doesn't have to be just one agency, as Joe Ellen said. This is a really great community. They work really well together, providing those resources, and it doesn't, I mean, that day gives us an opportunity to highlight it, but it is there all year long. And those opportunities to have someone come in and speak to your groups, to present that information, to provide that is always there.
Any other messages that you'd like to share about Community Awareness Day?
Become involved. Get involved. It's a program that's grown every year since it started, but the only way it can keep growing is if we get people involved. Whether you're a student, whether you're a parent, a grandparent, we don't care. We want you involved. We want you to get this information, and more importantly, we want you to use this information. If you see a problem, become a part of the solution.
Well, that's our show for today. Thanks to our guests, Joellen Bowman of Haven, District Attorney Scott Andresi from the County of Armstrong, and Marie Dillon Griffith, Board of President of Armstrong, Indiana Clarion Drug and Alcohol Committee. I'd also like to thank all the Community Awareness Day partners who work so hard to make this annual event a success, as well as the TV production students from Katanning High School, led by their teacher, Mr. Don Swanson. Please join us again next week for another look at Armstrong School District. For more information about what's going on in the district, please check us out next time you're surfing the web. Have a great week.